The WWE Universe is currently gripped by a situation that has evolved from a simple backstage comment into a sprawling controversy intertwining personal decisions, corporate policy, faction dynamics, and the unpredictable world of professional wrestling storytelling, as Raw Women's Champion Liv Morgan finds herself in the center of a storm that refuses to die down. Known for her unapologetic persona, her ability to push boundaries, and her flair for turning real-life moments into on-screen intrigue, Liv recently gave a backstage interview that has now become one of the most talked-about moments of the year. In that interview, she made a statement that was equal parts shocking and divisive, openly suggesting that her pregnancy was not just a personal milestone but a calculated, strategic decision made in partnership with Dominik Mysterio to strengthen her long-term position in WWE. This revelation detonated like a grenade in the middle of the WWE fanbase and locker room, with social media platforms immediately igniting in a blaze of hashtags, hot takes, and emotional debates. Some fans quickly labeled her actions as cold, manipulative, and an exploitation of a deeply personal matter for professional advantage, accusing her of crossing ethical lines that most would never consider. Others defended her fiercely, arguing that her body and her life are hers to control, and if she found a way to use her personal circumstances to secure stability in an unpredictable business, it was simply smart strategy in an industry notorious for its volatility. As the reactions intensified, WWE's upper management could no longer remain silent, and it was none other than Chief Content Officer Triple H who stepped into the spotlight to address the issue directly. Triple H, known for balancing his role as a supportive mentor with the firm hand of an enforcer when company standards are at stake, delivered a stern warning to Liv Morgan. In his statement, he made it unequivocally clear that such remarks, whether made in character, in jest, or with genuine intent, have real-world implications that go far beyond the scripted nature of sports entertainment. He underscored the importance of professionalism, discipline, and integrity within WWE, stressing that comments which suggest the manipulation of personal circumstances for contractual leverage could damage both the performer's reputation and the trust between talent and the company. His words carried an unmistakable undertone of consequence, hinting that disciplinary measures were not off the table. Behind the scenes, whispers have grown louder about what those consequences might be, with insiders speculating that fines, suspension, or even a full termination of her contract are possibilities if WWE determines that she violated its strict code of conduct. The company has long upheld an image that blends athletic performance with larger-than-life characters, but it also protects its brand image fiercely, and management is known to take swift action when they believe that image is at risk. Liv's situation becomes even more complicated when factoring in her role within the Judgment Day faction, one of WWE's most prominent and dominant groups. As a core member, her actions inevitably impact the group's stability and storylines. Damian Priest, the faction's leader, now finds himself in an unenviable position, on one hand, bound by loyalty to a teammate who has helped define the group's recent success, and on the other, responsible for preserving discipline, unity, and the faction's image in the eyes of both fans and management. Internally, there is concern that if this controversy spirals further, it could create cracks in the Judgment Day's cohesion, potentially making them vulnerable to rival factions eager to exploit the chaos. Rivals could use Liv's situation as ammunition, either in scripted promos or in backstage political maneuvering, to destabilize the group's dominance. For fans, the tension has added a fresh layer of unpredictability to WWE programming. Every appearance by Liv, every reaction from Dominik, every subtle glance between faction members is now scrutinized for signs of fracture or rebellion. Social media has turned into a battleground of narratives, with theories emerging about whether this entire situation is a cleverly orchestrated storyline designed to boost ratings or an unscripted scandal that WWE is scrambling to contain and adapt into programming. Meanwhile, Dominik Mysterio's name is inevitably caught in the crossfire, with fans and media wondering how his involvement, whether genuine or simply by association, will affect his own standing within WWE. If Liv's comments are taken at face value, Dominik could be seen as complicit in the alleged contract maneuvering, adding another wrinkle to an already complex situation. The stakes are enormous, because the outcome of this saga could redefine Liv's career trajectory entirely. If she weathers the storm, she could emerge as one of the most polarizing and compelling figures in WWE, with a character that blurs the lines between reality and performance in a way few have ever managed. If she miscalculates or if management's patience runs out, she risks seeing her career momentum collapse overnight. The wrestling world thrives on drama, but this particular situation has the rare quality of holding equal weight in both the fictional and real-life spheres of the business. Every week that passes without a clear resolution only fuels the speculation and deepens the intrigue. Fans are tuning in not just for the matches, but to watch this real-time chess match between a superstar pushing boundaries, a corporate leader defending the brand's integrity, and a faction caught in the crossfire of loyalty and survival. Whether this ends in a dramatic reconciliation, a storyline swerve that shocks the audience, or an actual parting of ways between Liv Morgan and WWE, one thing is certain: this controversy has already etched itself into the modern history of the company, and the next moves will be remembered for years to come. The energy within the WWE universe has been rattled by a storyline that blends personal revelation, controversy, and corporate discipline into a volatile mix, as Raw Women's Champion Liv Morgan finds herself at the center of a storm following an audacious backstage statement that has triggered both outrage and intrigue. In a recent interview, Liv, known for her unapologetic fire and willingness to blur the line between reality and theatrics, made a claim that stunned fans and insiders alike. She implied that her pregnancy was not only intentional but strategically planned with fellow WWE star Dominik Mysterio as part of a calculated move to secure a longer-term contract with the company. That single comment has ignited a firestorm of reaction, with some segments of the fanbase accusing her of manipulating a deeply personal life decision for career gain, while others rush to defend her right to make choices about her own body and future without judgment. Social media has erupted with debates, dissecting every nuance of her words, with theories ranging from this being a masterstroke of heel character work to a reckless blurring of personal and professional boundaries. The backlash grew intense enough to prompt an official response from WWE's chief content officer, Triple H, whose leadership style combines old-school discipline with a keen sense for modern media optics. Triple H issued a stern warning to Morgan, making it unmistakably clear that such statements, whether in character or not, can have real-world consequences in a business that relies on professionalism, respect, and corporate integrity. He stressed that WWE's strict code of conduct exists to protect both the performers and the brand, warning that behavior crossing certain lines risks damaging not only personal reputations but also future career opportunities. Behind the scenes, industry insiders suggest that disciplinary action is being weighed, and while nothing is confirmed, potential penalties could range from fines and suspensions to, in the most severe scenario, contract termination. The tension is amplified by Liv's role in the Judgment Day faction, where every member's actions feed into the group's collective momentum. Damian Priest, as the faction's leader, now faces the delicate task of keeping the group unified while not appearing to condone conduct that management views as problematic. Liv's boldness may appeal to some fans, but internally, it risks creating fractures within the faction if her situation becomes a prolonged distraction or if WWE takes public action against her. The storyline implications are vast. Her absence, whether due to storyline punishment or real-world disciplinary measures, could weaken the Judgment Day's position and open the door for rival factions to exploit their instability. The WWE universe remains split, with some fans admiring her fearlessness and others condemning her alleged motives, while speculation swirls about what this means for her career trajectory and for Dominik Mysterio's standing, given his indirect link to the controversy. As the debate rages, every show, promo, and offhand comment is now under intense scrutiny, with fans scouring for clues as to how this will evolve. Whether this becomes one of WWE's most shocking real-life controversies woven into storyline or results in serious behind-the-scenes fallout, the next moves from both Liv Morgan and WWE management will shape not only her future but potentially the Judgment Day's entire arc. The only certainty is that the drama has hooked the wrestling world, and the next chapter is being awaited with bated breath by fans, critics, and insiders alike, all wondering whether this bold gamble will end in career reinvention or an abrupt fall from grace.